on, bud. Chuggy. Go away, Chuggy. Really, guys? Really? Blue? Get off, Blue. Go on. Come on. Something has changed. It changed today. I felt it change. I went from feeling completely stuck and anxious and like waiting in a holding pattern and just being like, what in the world is going to happen? I want to make something happen, but I know I'm not supposed to then having that pumpkin fall apart. Guys, look at what happened. Oh no. And then I had my mini, call it a defiant breakdown rant. I don't know. I just want to be real right now because I know that sometimes maybe you have the inside voice. Right now my inside voice is being like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? Why can't you stay on top of stuff? Why do you think that you could handle any property bigger than this when you can't even handle what you have currently? Like, that's the voice inside my head, and I am going to tell it right now to shut up and leave me alone because nobody asked you, voice in my head. I mean, nobody asked you. Every year you're going to make mistakes. Every year things are not going to go exactly the way you planned. Every year, especially if you're pushing yourself, like, things are going to fall between the cracks. And you know what? That's okay. It's your life. It's my life. You can do whatever you want. And, am I sad about that pumpkin? Yes. But am I sad about my corn? Yes. Am I sad about my sunflower seeds? Yes. Am I sad? Like, I keep going on and on. But you know what? Happy about other things too. I got a bunch of green beans and I am getting tomatoes. I did get some pumpkins and I have some more. I got all these melons. I'm getting food from the garden. There's pollinators in my garden. My chickens are happy and they're gonna be happy to eat this gross pumpkin. And you know what? It's fine. The only reason why I share that is because if you were having a tough time, guess what? It's fine. Tell that voice in your head to shut up. To then all of a sudden just feeling like something changed. It was like all the energy was stuck, and then all of a sudden it just, whatever was blocking it, got pushed out of the way. And it's a weird feeling and it's hard to describe, but things are gonna start happening now. I can feel that things are gonna start happening now. So whether or not we stay on this property that's not up for me to decide. That's either going to happen or not happen. Whether or not we get a horse, that's also not for me to decide. It's either going to happen or it's not. But that is not going to stop me from dreaming and planning either way, really. Oh my gosh. Like, that has thorns on it. Doesn't that hurt your mouth? Ugh. This was the original milkweed stand on our property, and it used to be filled with milkweed, and now there's only like, I see 4, 5, 6, 7 plants over here. They randomly died one year, but not before I felt the need to transplant some of them up to the house, which is where all those the milkweed is now. So I did that, and the very next year they didn't come back over here. So, like, thank goodness I listened to that intuition and moved some of them. And this has been our best monarch season yet. I know that this year a lot of stuff came out about the monarchs in decline and endangered and stuff like that, but like, we have never seen more caterpillars than we did this year. So that's pretty hopeful. You know, obviously it's empty right now, but like, how sweet. So interesting. So this is one of our walnut trees. Look, there's only like one walnut on it. Last year there were so many. It's like you have a really good year. I don't know if they call it like a mast year or something, and then it's like nothing. Oh my. What are they doing? They're so crazy. So it's drizzling. Again, we actually didn't get that storm that I thought we were gonna get, but there's still some more in the area. But here's the back field. So I feel a little ridiculous planning for a horse, or horses, a horse and a pony, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, who cares? I have been dealing, I don't know if you ever had this, I have been dealing up until right now with like this weird jealousy, almost like coveting. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be jealous. You're not supposed to covet things. And it wasn't so much that I was coveting like what other people had, as much as the freedom they felt to make choices for their lives. Like, people I would see and be like, if I was in their circumstance, I wouldn't have a horse. And yet they do. How dare they? And it's like, well, you could decide to have one too. I know people with far less land than us that have horses. Like, you could do that. It's like I have these made up rules in my head of like what you have to do in order to do certain things. And really, I'm making them up. I'm my own jailer in that sense. I made up the rules, and now I'm mad because other people are breaking my made up rules in my head. So, you know what? I'm done with that. So, if I were to get horses, this is what I would do. This is the backfield. It's not extremely huge, but it's somewhat large. But anyways, looking back up toward the house, it goes quite a while. I would fence in the bees because nobody wants a horse running into bees, obviously. And then I would have a fence way up that way. And like we'd fill in the pond. So that would be extra grazing room as well. And I found a spot to stick like almost like a riding arena. I'll show you. Like I can just picture myself riding here. Like how fun would that be? This is our burn pile, which is pretty flat right here. And it could totally just be an area to ride in. I can just see it. I can see things. And I'm not saying that we're like running out and getting horse. I already told you I'm not doing that. But I believe one's gonna come to me. And when it does, it's gonna be the riding arena. The pond. If you know, you know. We actually currently have plans to fill in the pond. So hopefully that will be done here pretty soon, which will be awesome. It was fun while it lasted. So just kind of looking back so you can see. All the way back there is where the bees are, and the field way back there. I'm pretty sure that we could keep 2 horses and they would be happy. Okay, so I'm curious. Are there things that you've wanted to do with your life, but you don't do because they're not like appropriate or socially acceptable, or you have some weird rules in your head? Like also, I would love to dress way differently than I do, but I feel like if I did, I would be considered a weirdo, which I probably already am considered a weirdo. And maybe I should just go ahead and do it anyway. Like, wouldn't it be more fun if everybody dressed a little more interestingly? Come on, chickens, come on. They'd rather go in and eat compost, well, scraps, than stay out and forage for food. Y'all could stay up later. You don't have to go to bed right now. Come on, chick, 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 chick. Chick, 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 come on. Oh my goodness, look at you guys. Look at pretty Maggie. She crowed today. I say she, she's a he. Maggie crowed today. You're so pretty, Maggie. All right, are we all over here? Okay, come on. Here we go. All right, they're up for the night. I got some earlier. I feel like they have not been laying in, oh, there's one in the laying boxes. Like there's probably a nest of eggs somewhere in the yard. Somewhere. Because when I had them all in one day, there were a lot more eggs that were laid. So somebody's laying some somewhere else. Hey, tractor, look at that. The door to nowhere. So what I noticed happening for a few weeks, maybe even a little bit longer, but definitely the last few weeks, I have been jealous of people I don't even know. Like I'd have a dream about a person and be jealous of them and covetous, but not of what they have. Like that wasn't the point. In my dreams, it was always someone, they didn't have what I wanted, they had what they wanted. And I was jealous of the fact that they were getting what they wanted for their life. And it's not even like they were doing anything crazy or wrong. It's that I have been putting in place these random rules in my head, like to stop me from doing what I want. Like, you can have the furniture you like in your house once you get a bigger house. Why can't I just have it now? That doesn't, I mean, and I'm not saying like to go out and like buy a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not talking about from a money standpoint, but more of, even if I had the money to do it, I would stop myself and be like, no, you can't have that yet. You can't have that until you do this. You can't have a horse until you have a proper horse farm. The furniture that I have right now, I have furniture, we have for antique furniture in our barn that I want to put in our next house. Why don't I put it in the house we have right now? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why am I doing this? And I feel like I just kind of had that realization, like, why am I stopping myself from living the life I want to live? Even if I have the ability to do it, like, why am I not putting that dresser in my house? Why? I have it. It's here. I could just move it into my house. I could change out the dresser I have with this dresser I want that I already own. Why do I feel like I need to achieve something different before I can use it? Like, I need to have a historic home on, 20 acres in order to use this piece of furniture. It's stupid. I guess I'm just kind of realizing that. I don't know if you do that. Do you do that? How could you put that beautiful antique furniture in your house? Don't you know you need an 1800s historic home before you can use pretty antique furniture? I mean, like, what? I never think that of other people. I just put those limits on myself. I don't want to put those limits on myself anymore. Also, something that's been coming up, I'm about to turn 40. And I kind of said I'm going to have like a little midlife crisis. And it's not really a bad thing. It's more of a realization that if I want to live the life I want to live, I need to just go ahead and do it. If I want to wear different clothes, I need to go ahead and do it. Like, whatever it is that I want to do that's within my realm and ability to do, I need to just go ahead and do it. Because I was listening to somebody's talk and they were talking about people who were at the end of their life and what was their biggest regret. And it was that they didn't live a life true to themselves. They wish they lived a life true to themselves and not worried about what other people, the limitations and the things that other people put on them. I don't want to get to the end of my life and think like, why didn't I live 100%? Why didn't I live like out loud? Why didn't I follow my dreams and just like, why? Like, I don't want to be like that. So I feel like something changed. And maybe it wasn't an outward change, maybe it was an inward change, but something has changed. And I think things are going to start moving faster now. Like, I felt like I was in a holding pattern, and I feel like things are going to start moving now. And I don't know if that's from my doing or from the universe's doing, God moving, but I definitely feel like things are going to pick up, and I think I'm ready for it. We'll find out. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see where this goes.